pick.
I take a whole barrel of that glass number B.
Oh yeah.
Number B. Letter B. Glass B, everyone. Sample number 2, glass B.
Josh, just let it be. Welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Bill.
I'm Josh. And today, we're doing our first barrel pick.
Quasi.
Kinda.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah, we don't get to send this in and get the barrel and like sell it to you guys or anything. But you won a lot.
Yeah, I won a little side lottery and add a lottery. And this is one of the things I got. And you can look at that. You can see it on the North Carolina lottery video that we have out there that has been pretty popular.
Yeah, let's make one statement real quick because we had at least one commenter. It was a charity lottery.
Yes.
You donated to charity, you got a ticket. If you wanted to buy into the lots, you gave them money. That money went to charity.
Yes.
So keep in mind, when we said we passed on bottles, those were not charity bottles.
No, they weren't.
Those were just, oh, I don't need that. Let me give it to the dude behind me.
But I don't want to spend too much time on that because of course, going to a lottery, that's always fun, and there's great bottles there, and a lot of people were able to get get a lot of bottles. And quite honestly, if it were done where everyone could have one, there were enough bottles for everybody there.
Yes.
To have one through the store lottery itself. Mm-hmm. So I also want to just reiterate how much money was raised. As of a week ago today, they didn't yet have quite the full total on it. But I would say the number it's got to break $100,000.
Yeah.
So I'd be very shocked if it doesn't.
And that was for the Vernon Thompson Scholarship Foundation.
And the Dragonfly House.
Yes.
So both North Carolina charities and kind of central to the Davie County area. So very worthy causes and some great people that are behind it. So
absolutely.
So
the information for each bottle and the bottles themselves are there. We cannot see them. So we're trying them blind.
And so also this was an extra tasting kit.
Yes.
For a bottle barrel that they picked as part of the North Carolina Bourbon Society.
Yeah. 2019, I think.
I think so.
Is when.
Now, which means, I don't know when that would have been when they actually got the barrel in, because there is some delay on that.
Yeah, so 2021 maybe.
Probably late 2020, early 2021 that they may have had it. They do not have it any longer.
Yeah, and this bottle right here is from B&B Package in Kingsport, Tennessee, where you picked up not too long ago. We just wanted to give you a reference point. The image of the bottle here is different than here.
That is what they look like.
So, but this is what they end up looking like. So this would, if we had an actual barrel pick, we would eventually get bottles like that.
Right. And Remus is now or may have always been, but I think it's now, is a Ross and Squibb brand, which is MGP.
Yes.
So this is MGP juice.
And it is their own, they own the distillery.
Yes.
Just like Rossville Union.
Yes.
So, we don't know the mash bills. We know the proofs.
Actually, we do. Put them in. We have the mash bills.
But we're not going to look at them. We don't know them. We're not going to look at them.
Right. So I think they're here.
As of right now, we don't know the mash bills.
No. We know it has corn, at least 51%.
We know some of them have rye and barley.
And most likely, knowing MGP, there's a fair amount of rye in it.
Yeah. So let's get into sample number 1, shall we? Got to make sure you guys can see it.
I thought you were trying to fake me out with that high five, low five stuff.
Too slow.
It's got a classic bourbon nose on it. Vanilla caramel.
Yep. Not a lot of spice on the nose.
There's some spice. There's some. I'm picking up some there. In fact, I get it more after I take the whiff. I'm going in.
Now's a great time, guys, to subscribe if you have not subscribed already, to leave us a like if you're enjoying the video, to hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on everything that we are doing. Leave us a comment if you want to talk to us, because we'd love to talk to you. and share it with a friend if you think someone else might enjoy it. Thank you.
There is a lot of sweetness on that one. A lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel. There's a fair amount of spice, not crazy. And this has got to be over 100 proof. I don't think it's way over 100 proof, but it's got to be over 100.
Very vanilla.
Very, very vanilla. Yeah.
Very, very, very vanilla.
And it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
It hangs on there. So,
Nice little bit of pepper.
yeah.
Like a line right down the middle from my front palate to finish.
Yeah, it's fairly, it feels thick
Yeah, it
in
does.
the mouthfeel. And it kind of looks it on the glass a bit.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty nice.
And the thing is, these single barrels are generally not that expensive.
Yeah, I think like the max I've seen them was like $50.
Right in that neighborhood.
And I think a lot of people look down on MGP products nowadays, just because there are a lot of YouTubers.
I was going to say, I don't know why, because 50% of what you drink is MGP.
Exactly.
So
a lot of YouTubers will sooner put an MGP bottle back than buy it. And I can understand that. You know, eventually you get to the point where you have a lot of MGP on your shelves. But who the heck cares who makes it if it's good?
right. Well, and I think part of the reason they do that is, as craft producers are buying barrels from MGP, they are putting a markup on it.
Yes.
And they have to. There's no way around it. They have to do it.
Yeah, because they're buying the barrel. Sometimes they're buying it
And then
pre-aged.
they've got shipping, and they've got
Yep. And then they've got to
everything
bottle
else.
it. They've got to label it. They've got to ship it back. They've got to sell it to their distributor. The distributor has to make money.
But sometimes what that does is it takes an 8-year product, and that they're breaking $100 on it. They're breaking
Yeah.
$120 on it, and that's a little harder pill to swallow for 8-year-old MGP
Yeah.
juice. When you can buy Rossville Union for 40 to 60.
Or Remus at
Remus
6 years old. You
yeah.
know? I will say there is one MGP bottle that is 8 years old that is $125 that I would buy any day of the week, and that's the Old Route 8.
True.
That is sometimes there are phenomenal bottles, phenomenal barrels being
Phenomenal
sold.
barrels that they pick up,
Great picks by these distilleries who are still working on making their own product.
and the Buckner's 10.
Yeah,
as well.
also fantastic. And then they're up there. It's 125 and 150. So, you know, they're not cheap, and then unfortunately that's the way it goes sometimes. But for a company to make money, they've got to do that, because you can't be a distillery and just like not make money for 2 to 4 years.
If they're
you know?
in business to lose money,
Yeah, unless
that
they
was
have
a bad
one
business plan.
unless they have one hell of an investor that doesn't care how much it costs. You know.
Oh, solar energy?
Let's get into sample B here, shall we? This one smells like it's got more rye in the mash bill.
I didn't nose it much.
Less sweetness, a lot more spice on the nose.
Wow. Let's see what you think. Citrus. What flavor do you get? I don't get as much rye in this one.
Yeah, the spice itself is tamped down. I do taste like rye grain. I'm getting a little lemon.
There you go. I just whispered or mouthed citrus.
Yeah, it's quite lemony. There's a little bit of like a little bit of a brown sugar thing going on the mid palate. Not very strong, just kind of light in there.
I think that might be some of the sweetness I picked up in glass A as well. You might liken that to brown sugar.
Brown sugar, yeah. That one's also quite thick. I don't think it's as thick as the first sample. But it sticks.
And the proof seems to be about the same. It might be a few points higher, but
Yeah, I would put them, honestly, I feel like Glass A tastes a little proofier than Glass B.
I agree.
And not by much. Like if I had to guess, I'd put this at like 102-ish, around 100, and this one maybe closer to 110, somewhere in that range.
I think the sweetness really covers it. I mean, these are incredibly sweet.
Yeah, they are.
Incredibly sweet. If you didn't know better, you might think they had a finish on them. like an Oloroso Sherry or something
Yeah,
like that.
like Glass A is super vanilla forward.
Yes.
Super vanilla forward. This one has that lemon, a little bit of sourness to cut it a little bit, but it's still got that heavy, dark brown sugar sweetness. And for me, it's living on the mid palate.
This one's got to have a higher rye content because that citrus really comes through on the nose.
Oh wow, yeah.
Amazing
Yeah,
difference.
really lemon. Really lemony.
It's almost not overpowering, but it overpowers the other notes that are there.
I'm getting a little maltiness on this one.
I don't know. I'll have to pick that up on the
Just a tiny, not a lot. I wouldn't say we're going like chocolate, but there's a hint of something that's leaning in that direction.
Oh, I get it now. And there's more proof here too. It's not the maltiness is not overpowering, but I get it. The dryness. This one is really, the finish seems to be leaving faster on this one.
Yeah.
Definitely got another five proof points on it.
Front mid palate.
Yeah.
A lot on the front palate, which is pretty rare.
But it's not as sweet. I actually, I'm getting more mid palate than I am front or back.
Yeah, there's definitely more mid, but I'm getting a lot on the front still, which is rare. Usually the front palate fades the fastest.
This one is not as sweet as the other two.
That might be a rye.
It's more rye forward. Definitely. I mean, I said it as soon as I
Yeah,
as I
that
even
might just
nosed
be
it.
a flat up rye.
No, it's straight bourbon whiskey, so no.
Oh yeah, it says it right there on the back of the bottle.
So it's got to be 51% corn, but I would put this in the mid 30s
Yeah,
on rye.
yeah. I mean, we might even be in the 40s for Christ's sake. That's
Yeah, mid to high 30s.
And it's not pepper spice. It's not really cinnamon spice. It's really just rye spice.
Spice. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I picked right now, if I were picking a barrel, I would pick number 3.
It's pretty hard for me. I'm gonna have to go back through and do these
Like I said,
one more time.
Right now, I would, but as we go back, just put 1 drop, swirl.
Yeah, this one's gonna be tough. These are all very good.
So you guys, we're going to take a break right here. We're going to go back through them, not put you through this again. And we will be right back with you after these messages. There are no messages.
Subscribe.
Oh, there you go.
There's
That's
a message.
There's a message.
Be right back, guys.
One eternity later.
And we're back. And
So-
we have come to a decision.
We have made a decision.
That we have. And before the water, before that one little drop, it was a little tougher.
Yep.
But when we went back through,
But before the water, we were both on C.
on C. But after that water, this became a drying experience on the back of the palate, which makes us believe that there's more malt in there. And Glass C, the spice from the rye kind of leveled to a nice point, and then the sweetness kicked up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it made a nice balanced experience. A got really sweet
Yes.
after the water.
Yes.
Too sweet for us. So B was the winner. Should
Yes.
we reveal our mash
B is the
bills?
winner.
Let's start with sample number A. Number A, letter A. Sample A. So this is 108.5 proof. We're at 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley, and it was barreled October 21st of 2019. So
75 corn, right?
75 corn.
So
and
that explains
the sweetness.
the sweetness,
Yeah.
yes.
And after that water, heavy sweetness, really strong vanilla flavors. Honestly, stronger than the Mexican vanilla finished
it
bourbon
was-
that we had.
I said it when we were drinking it. I said, this is like a finish, like an Oloroso Sherry or something like that.
Like super sweet. Well, then we'll go to C, and this is 115.2 proof, 51% corn, 39% rye, and 10% malted rye.
So it's truly 49% rye.
Yeah.
And we picked that up
Malted
right off
rye.
the...
Yeah, and that explains a little bit of the dryness.
Yeah. And on all and it explains the orange, it explains, or the lemon that we were getting
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that
So
came
then
through.
our winner here
Is B.
is also 108.5, 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. So a high rye mash bill.
Yes.
No wonder we picked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's pretty good.
I would say, and we talked about this a bit because we're not to the point of being able to offer barrel picks or do anything like that yet on the channel. And we're filming this in early January 2025. So we're not to that point yet. And what we talked about though is we would want to pick to our palate because that the people who are following us, our subscribers and watch us on an ongoing basis, are probably doing that because they identify with our palate. And so we wouldn't want to pick something too off profile to do that.
This sheet says bottled at 3 unique proofs at 108.5, 115.2, and 118.1. These two are both 108.5, and this is 115.2.
But they are different barrels.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And they're
assumed.
different mash bills.
Yeah, I assumed after reading that we would have had one at each proof. You know.
Yeah.
Well, first barrel pick done.
Yeah, there you go. No barrel. No pick.
I
bottles.
take a whole barrel of that glass number B.
Oh, yeah.
Number B. Letter B. Glass B, everyone. Sample number 2, glass B.
Josh, just let it be.
So, guys, we actually have 2 more barrel tasting kits to go.
2 from Lux Row.
Lux Row, that is true. We have Stay Finished and Regular, so we're going to pop those open next and do those. So, if you guys ever been a part of a barrel pick, I would love to. A real one. I think I prefer the one where we travel and go to the distillery itself, but this is also fun. I do kind of wish we could get a barrel of sample B because that's some pretty good juice.
Pretty good juice.
That's a pretty good juice. That lemon note comes through, but there's after that brown sugar we were talking about before, after that one drop really pushed some sweetness forward, and then the rye spice came through nice, and that would be a great barrel.
And we are, particularly in the last couple of months, we are very rye focused.
Yeah.
We are loving some rye.
Yeah.
So,
I tend to lean more towards a high rye bourbon.
yes.
Because I still like that sweetness, but I have enjoyed rye whiskey
And that spice.
a lot.
Yes, we
So.
have. So, thanks for being with us. And as always, our videos get better with time, just like bourbon.
And please take care of yourselves.